In the deadly deserts of Iraq, where every street could become a battlefield within seconds and danger waited behind every rooftop, one man became a nightmare for enemy fighters. Welcome to Xfinity Evolution, where history comes alive and legends are reborn. His name was Chris Kyle, a Navy SEAL sniper who would later become known as the deadliest sniper in American military history. Enemy insurgents feared him so much that they gave him a terrifying nickname, the Devil of Ramadi. But behind the legendary reputation, the battlefield heroics, and the record-breaking kills was a man silently fighting the emotional weight of war deep inside his own mind. This is not just the story of a sniper. Chris Kyle was born on April 8, 1974, in Odessa, Texas, and grew up in a hardworking Christian family where discipline and toughness were deeply respected. His father taught him from a very young age how to hunt deer and use rifles safely. Those early lessons slowly built the patience and accuracy that would later make him one of the most feared snipers in military history. Chris loved the Texas cowboy lifestyle. He enjoyed hunting, horseback riding, and rodeo competitions, and for many years he dreamed of becoming a professional rodeo rider. Friends described him as fearless, competitive, and determined to succeed no matter how difficult life became. But after suffering a serious arm injury that ended his rodeo dreams, Chris found himself searching for a new purpose in life. Around the same time, terrorist attacks against Americans overseas deeply affected him. Watching innocent people lose their lives awakened a strong desire inside him to serve his country and protect others from terrorism. Chris no longer wanted an ordinary life. Determined to serve America, he joined the United States Navy. However, becoming a Navy SEAL was far from easy. Navy SEAL training is considered one of the hardest military programs in the world. Recruits are pushed to their physical and mental limits through freezing cold water, exhaustion, pain, sleep deprivation, and psychological pressure designed to break even the strongest men. Many trainees quit during the brutal training process known as Hell Week, but Chris Kyle refused to give up. His toughness and determination pushed him through every obstacle until he finally earned the title of Navy SEAL and joined the Elite SEAL Team 3. Then came September 11, 2001, the terrorist attacks that changed America forever. After the attacks, the United States launched the War on Terror, and Chris Kyle was deployed to Iraq, entering one of the deadliest war zones in modern history. Iraq was filled with roadside bombs, ambushes, sniper attacks, and constant violence. American soldiers faced danger every single day, and survival often depended on split-second decisions. It was in the violent city of Ramadi that Chris Kyle's legend truly began. Enemy fighters hid amongst civilians and attacked U.S. troops from crowded streets and buildings, turning every mission into a deadly gamble. Sometimes Chris would remain completely motionless for hours under the burning Iraqi sun, carefully studying every movement through his sniper scope while waiting for the perfect moment to fire. One mistake could cost innocent lives, and hesitation often meant death. Over time, his battlefield effectiveness became so feared that insurgents reportedly placed a large bounty on his head. Enemy fighters called him the Devil of Ramadi, believing he was nearly impossible to escape. To American soldiers, however, Chris Kyle became a guardian angel, the man watching over them from a distance when danger appeared. Officially, he recorded more than 160 confirmed sniper kills, making him the deadliest sniper in U.S. military history, although many believe the true number was even higher. His courage and skills saved countless American lives during combat missions. But war leaves invisible scars that cannot always be seen from the outside. After completing 4 dangerous tours in Iraq, the psychological burden of combat slowly began to destroy him emotionally. The battlefield never truly left his mind. Back home in America, his wife and family noticed major changes in his behavior. Chris struggled to reconnect with normal life and often felt emotionally distant from the people he loved. Like many combat veterans, he suffered from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. The memories of violence, explosions, death, and fallen teammates haunted him constantly. Loud noises triggered painful memories from Iraq, and the emotional wounds of war became impossible to ignore. Although millions of Americans saw him as a fearless hero, Chris himself understood the dark emotional reality many soldiers carry long after returning home. Eventually in 2009, Chris Kyle left the Navy and dedicated much of his time to helping fellow veterans who were also struggling with trauma, depression, and mental health challenges after war. He believed soldiers who sacrificed everything for their country deserved support and understanding when they returned home. Chris spent time counseling veterans, taking them to shooting ranges, and trying to help them recover emotionally from the horrors they had experienced. Sadly, tragedy struck on February 2, 2013. Chris visited a Texas shooting range with another veteran who was reportedly struggling with severe psychological issues. What began as an attempt to help a troubled former soldier ended in unimaginable horror when Chris Kyle was shot and killed. He was only 38 years old. The news of his death shocked America. Thousands of people gathered during his funeral procession, standing silently along highways holding American flags as a sign of respect and gratitude. For many Americans, Chris Kyle represented bravery, sacrifice, and patriotism. His life story later inspired books, documentaries, and the Hollywood film American Sniper. Yet beyond the fame and military records, Chris Kyle's story remains deeply human. It is the story of a man who dedicated his life to protecting others, faced unimaginable violence, and carried emotional wounds that never fully healed. Chris Kyle's legacy continues to inspire admiration, debate, and reflection even today. To some, he was the ultimate American warrior, fearless, loyal, and willing to sacrifice everything for his fellow soldiers. But no matter how history judges him, one truth remains undeniable: Chris Kyle left a permanent mark on American military history. His journey was not only about becoming the deadliest sniper in America. It was also about sacrifice, survival, trauma, and the hidden emotional battles soldiers continue to fight long after the gunfire fades away. If you want to understand how history is unfolding before our eyes, don't miss what comes next. Revisit Xfinity Evolution for deeper insights and powerful stories. Stay informed, stay curious, and join us again on Xfinity Evolution, where the world's biggest events come into focus.